Hi, everybody. I'm Erin Thrower with the Lake County Communications Department, and I'm joined today by Bob Lukert, who is the Chief County Assessment Officer. Bob, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. Perfect timing for the two of us to visit for a few minutes here. It's that time of season when it's time for seniors to reapply for their senior freezes, which is an application process that's handled on an annual basis. At the same time, any of the disabled persons exemptions are also up for renew. This is all for tax year 2020, as well as the veterans applications as well.
Okay.
So what I'd like to do today, if I could, is kind of walk you on through and show you very briefly how to turn around and file for one of these exemptions online. Lake County is the only county that I'm aware of here in Illinois that all of these exemptions are available online to file. There is no longer a need, as there was in the past, to take a paper copy, take it to a bank, and ultimately even go far as the step of having it notarized. So right now, everything that you do in Lake County in terms of exemptions can be filed online. So if I
And I,
could,
yeah, I was going to
Erin,
say, I know if some people don't have a computer, though, we can help in person as well. Offices are opening back up, which is great. So, but we'll let you go ahead and share for the computer version. That'd be great.
the
Thank
only thing I'd like to add to that is that if you do plan on visiting your local township assessor's office, because of the COVID pandemic, please call ahead to find out hours of operation. And some of them are actually requiring appointments.
you.
So on that score, I'm going to go ahead and jump in and show you the screen
Okay.
here. Bear with me. This should be a familiar screen for all you, and that's the Chief County Assessment Office landing page, and you can find that at lakecountyil.gov. Um, and then look for the department, Chief County Assessment
And
Office.
just before you get started, a reminder, because seniors are sometimes counted differently at every place. Seniors, for our purposes today, are 65 and older, property owners 65 and older, correct?
Correct. With a maximum gross household income of 65,000 or less to be eligible for the senior freeze.
Okay.
So we've come onto the landing page here for the Chief County Assessment Office, and what I wanted to show you here is the Smart File e-filing portal, which is available in the center of the blue ribbon here. And if I click on that page or that link, we're going to jump right in and start. Some of you may recognize this page. This is the same page that we actually use if you're filing an assessment appeal on an annual basis. Down in the center here, I have my login credentials already in. For someone that's new, you have two options. You can turn around and either log in as a guest login, or you can create an account. I'd almost suggest that you create an account. The reason is that the system is programmed to notify you once you've successfully submitted an application. So it's going to give you basically a receipt that we've received your application. So for me here, I'm going to sign on in. Give the powers that be a few minutes to catch up with
Right.
me. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide down, and I am looking for the exemption related to a senior freeze assessment, which is this option right here. And that's EX, Senior Citizens Assessment Freeze Homestead Exemption. And I'm going to click on the link there and begin the filing process. This page reminds you that you need to be a minimum of 65 years old to turn around and apply, with a total household gross income of less than 65,000. Pressing begin, I'm going to choose, we're applying for 2021 this year. So the tax year is 2021. And if you don't have your parcel name, not to worry, we can turn around and we can type in a last name.
Okay.
So either a parcel or a PIN is fine.
Yeah, the parcel number, if they wanted to try to find that, would that be on like a past tax statement, property tax
It'd actually
statement?
be on your tax bill from last year, or any of the correspondence that we mail you out on an annual basis from the Chief County Assessment Office will also reference that PIN.
Okay.
If I slide on down here, we've already found the parcel, and hopefully yours will be found that easily. And basically what I'm going to do is click Start Filing. This is telling me what's currently on the file. This says that I do not have a senior household exemption, and they're automatically going to start a senior exemption as part of the senior freeze. So it's a fairly smart program. It basically is going to go and look for everything that you possibly apply for. In this particular case, the homeowner has come up. We're going to need to put a date of birth in here, and I'm just going to play with the date of birth. So 10/28/1926. That's not actually my birthday. And we've got a general phone number here, 999. And I'm going to click next. If there's anything missing on a particular page, you can always turn around and click, I'll fix this later.
Okay.
If your property is owned in a trust, so that's the first question, and a lot of seniors do for estate planning, have their homes in trust, Aaron. What they're going to do is, if you say yes to this question, the system is going to prompt you at the end of the application process to upload your trust documentation. We need to make sure ultimately that you are the owner or the beneficiary of that trust. All of the information, I'm going to skip filling it out, all of the information that they're looking for finance-wise is available directly off of your federal tax return.
Okay.
So what you'll want to do is pull off the figures for all of these different things, and they'll come right off the actual tax return.
Okay.
If you don't file a tax return, then you would be just actually putting in your basic Social Security income, any annuity income that you might or might not have, but it would be a fairly simple return if you didn't have anything other than your Social Security income, and you're not required to file a federal return. So most instances you're using your federal return, and you're filling.
Bob, is it better for them to wait till their taxes are filed this year? Because people are currently filing their 2020, and that's the data, that's the information they need. So maybe do your taxes first and then do this.
Yeah, and that's a very good point, Aaron. And at the same time, this is probably a good time to mention that you have until July 30th to turn around and complete this application process. So you've got a little bit of time here. Don't sweat it. There's plenty of time to take care of it.
Very good. That makes sense.
Essentially, the system will walk you through. It'll ask you a number of different questions, and at the very end, it'll actually ask you to verify the information with an electronic signature. Hit the submit button, and the application is on our desks, ready for processing. Please be patient. There are about 54,000 seniors benefiting from this senior freeze here in Lake County. It does take some time for us to go through all 54,000 applications, but we will. If we have any questions about the return or are in need of any additional information, we will certainly reach out to you. But again, you have until, the key points are, you have until July 30th to turn around and file it. So you have plenty of time. As Aaron pointed out, after your federal tax return is complete is probably the best time frame to start the application. And I think that's it. It's pretty simple.
Well, it's helpful to see it for sure. And again, if you don't have a computer, you struggle with that, we understand, and you can call and make appointments, that sort of thing, to make sure this gets done by July 31st of this year. But you mentioned the word benefit. So again, of course, this is a benefit. We kind of missed the most important thing in case people don't know, or they're just turning 65. This is a way to save money, right, on your taxes.
Absolutely.
Explain that aspect of it and how that kind of factors in.
Absolutely. So a senior freeze is different than a senior exemption. A senior exemption is similar to a homestead exemption. So if the home is your primary residence on a general exemption, that's $6,000 off of your assessed value. It's not $6,000 off of your tax bill. $6,000 off the assessed value before the assessed value is multiplied by the tax rate. A senior exemption takes an additional $5,000 off of your assessed value before the tax rate is applied. In the case of a senior freeze, your taxes are not frozen, but what your senior freeze does is it freezes your assessment level at the level that you receive, you're granted that exemption. So let's say you, on an average, you have a home that's worth $200,000. And in that year, you receive a senior freeze. Your home assessed value would be frozen at that $200,000 mark. That would mean that the maximum amount that the tax rate could be billed against is that 200,000. So as markets approach, as homes improve in value, maybe after 5 years your house is worth 250,000, or let's hope it's worth 300,000 in 5 years. The maximum tax that you'd be charged is on a market value of 200,000. This is an application that needs to be filed every single year. So let's say, for example, in 2020 or in 2021, you received the exemption, but in 2022, possibly you took an annuity distribution that brought your total gross household income over that 65,000. If that's the case, you wouldn't apply, you wouldn't be approved in 2022. But when you went to apply in 2023, and if successful, your value would go back to the first year that you were approved for that senior freeze. So you're going to jump all the way back to that 2020 level, okay, as opposed to being refroze at the new level. So okay. I don't want to get too deep into the woods in terms of it, but those are important points.
And it's not one or the other. It's not that you do the homestead exemption or do this one. Apply for as many as you possibly can, certainly.
Correct.
I mean, and then you hit that, the market is very hot right now. And so, we're probably going to see some home values going up, and this locks you in. So it's important to do it every year, as you said, and that makes sense. So
that sounds good. But again, we're always available here at the Chief County Assessment Office to answer questions. We have people manning the phones, and the quickest way to respond with COVID is always via email.
We'll put the email up out there on the screen for you, so people can email you if they have any questions. But that was very helpful to take us through and show, and we'll keep sharing the information through board newsletters and of course on the website, and have people reach out directly if they need help.
That sounds good. Erin, thanks for the time this morning.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Bob, and we'll see you soon. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you in Lake County. Bye-bye.